this video, we will show you how to install and commissioning the E5. We assume that the machine and accessory items have already been unpacked. First, check the scope of delivery. The provided accessory items are stored in 2 boxes that you removed from the working chamber during unpacking. Compare the items to the list in the machine's operating instructions. We have put a link to the list in the video description below. Now you will need to connect the machine to the CAM computer. You can connect the machine either directly to your CAM computer or via the local network. In this video, we will establish a direct connection. For integrating the machine into your network, you will require the assistance of your IT specialist. Plug the supplied Ethernet cable into the network connection on the machine connection panel. For a direct connection, plug the other end of the Ethernet cable into the network port on the CAM computer. Install the air extraction system. Insert the suction hose into the opening for the suction unit. Ensure that the suction hose is properly seated. If a compatible data cable is available for your suction unit, connect it to the machine's air extraction interface. This will allow your machine to switch the suction unit on and off as required. Establish the electric connection. Plug the provided power cable into the main connection on the connection panel of the machine. Insert the plug of the cable into a socket that is protected by a ground fault circuit interrupter. Now the machine is ready for commissioning. Switch on the machine at the main power switch. The working chamber lighting lights up white. This indicates that the machine is powered but that no connection to Dental CNC has been established yet. Therefore, the machine is not referencing. You now need to establish a connection between the machine and Dental CNC on the CAM computer. Switch on the CAM computer so that Windows will boot up. Install Dental CAM and Dental CNC. Select E5 from the machine selection list in the Setup program. Open the taskbar info area. Select the CNC interface icon. Create a new connection using the plus icon. Enter a description that indicates the connection. Check the Connect Automatically option. Open the port name drop-down list and select the available COM port. Select the machine to be connected from the machine drop-down list. Find the machine with the corresponding serial number. The serial number can be found on the identification plate of your machine. Save your entry. The connection you have set up is shown in the connection overview. The green dot indicates a successful connection. A red dot can have several reasons, such as a defective connection or another user already using the machine. If an update is necessary, execute it as shown. CNC interface tries to reconnect regularly. If you want to edit connection data, hover over the entry in the overview and select the edit icon. Minimize the CNC interface window. CNC interface is now connected to the machine and starts in the background every time you start Windows. Now start Dental CNC. Open the Dental CNC application settings. Open the General settings. Select the icon for the machine port number. The machine references and the lighting turns green. Now, you need to remove the spindle lock. Open the working chamber door. Pick up the provided 1.5 Nm torque screwdriver with bit TX20. Loosen the 2 fixing screws on the blank holder without unscrewing them. Pull the spindle lock upwards out of the blank holder. Store the spindle lock in a safe place. You will need it if you transport the machine again. Now you will need to warm up the spindle. Close the working chamber door. Open the Dental CNC application settings. Open the machine maintenance view. Select the icon for the spindle warm-up process. Start the warm-up process. Confirm the message. Close the working chamber door. Open the working chamber door again. Insert a tool or measuring pin into the collet chuck and hold it in place. Be sure to insert the tool into the collet chuck until the tool ring reaches the tip of the collet chuck. Confirm the message in Dental CNC. The collet chuck closes. You can release the tool. Close the working chamber door. Confirm the message in Dental CNC. The spindle warms up. Wait until the process is finished. Open the working chamber door. Hold the tool in the collet chuck in place. Confirm the message in Dental CNC. The collet chuck opens. Remove the tool from the collet chuck. Confirm the message in Dental CNC and close the window. Close the working chamber door. Note that you must repeat the warm-up process of the spindle every time you do not use the machine for 2 weeks or longer. This will extend the service life of the spindle. Your machine is now ready for operation. You can now continue with mounting blanks. For the complete operating instructions, visit dentalportal.info/E5. We hope that this was helpful. Thank you for watching.